heartache, relief. No matter how skillful you are, regardless how courageous you appear, there's one obstacle that cares for no one. Welcome to Drama on the River. Whether you love it or loathe it, the river has never failed to bring excitement to the world of poker. Fifth Street can change the fortune of a game. Made hands are crippled, and dreams are broken as the dealer reveals the final lifeline. To analyze your opponent correctly, to trap him into jeopardizing his tournament life, only to get drowned at the river, is by far the cruelest aspect of the game of Hold'em. I'm David Tuckman, alongside poker journalist Rob Smith, as we count down the 20 most dramatic moments in poker. Four-handed.
Right.
Buttons in front of Phil Ivey.
It's nice. It's real nice.
Cheryl Hines does not like the 8-4, throws it away, but Phil Ivey is going to play his King 6 offsuit.
Well, four-handed, of course, you don't need just aces and pretty cards to play. Any two cards can hit a flop. Well, it's Lindgren who's hit this one, top pair and a reasonable kicker.
And he's going to bet. He bets 12,000. And you see here Ivey calling. Maybe he thinks he can take it away on the turn.
Yeah. Well, now he doesn't need to steal it because that king has made his hand.
And he's a 4-1 favorite over Lindgren now. And he's going to bet 25,000. And Lindgren is down to only a few outs. He needs a queen or a 9. Actual 10 will do it as well. And there's a 9. Look at that. I can't believe it. Lindgren hits 2-pair on the river. They check it down, and he is going to win it with 2-pair. Phil Ivey, in disgust, throws his hand in the muck.
He's on a roll.
Phil Ivey didn't make a bet on the river there because he knew he could only be called by a hand that was better than his. So he actually saved himself a bit of money there. I'm sure Eric was hoping to check raise there. Smart play. Poker's about minimising your losses as well as winning the big pots.
Huckseed on the button. He looks at his 5-6 there. And oh wow, he is going to move all in. He's putting his tournament life at risk here on the button. And Jamie Colt immediately calls here with ace high. You know what? Three-handed ace high, I'm going to call also.
Yeah, he knows that Huckseed's getting short stacked. He's going to make a move with anything. His ace, he figures is going to be in front, and he's absolutely right. Although it's sort of coin toss territory here. Ace 3 against those suited 6-5.
I had 63.
Yeah, no, it's enough.
16.
Yeah, I was saying if it was like 45.
I can get away from a lot of hands. I'm not getting away from an ace.
Here's the flop.
Ace is looking good.
9-8-4. And Huckseed's still behind, but he can catch a 5, a 6, or a 7.
Yeah, that gut shot giving him some more outs. And nervous moments, I'm sure, for Jamie Gold.
And the turn is a king of clubs, and Huckseed is really down to it. He's going to need a 7, a 5, or a 6, or he is done.
Yeah, he's a 3-1 dog.
And here it is, to the river.
7, right? Don't even think it, no.
Oh, and there it is, the 6. Wow, and Huckseed catches one of his outs, and he is going to win this pot. Unbelievable. Take it down.
God.
What do we got?
This is our Pro-Am, and there is the Am, although Jennifer Tilly rates pretty highly as an amateur. She does have a World Series bracelet.
Well, she's going to raise it up to 15,000 with ace, 6 offsuit. Any ace in this four-handed game is very strong. Actions over to the big blind. That's David Williams.
I'm all in.
And he is all in here with king, queen offsuit, putting Jennifer Tilly to the test.
This is a massive overbet.
100.
120,000. And Jennifer only bet 12,000 herself.
You wonder if she's going to read that as an overbet. And look at that. She calls, and she is correct here. She is a favorite. Not an overwhelming favorite, but she is a favorite. And we've got a $243,000 pot.
Yeah, that is a smart call from the buxom beauty. And she'll be looking through those shades with a little smile on her face, knowing that she did the right thing. She's roughly 60-40. Oh, but not anymore. That is ugly.
Yeah, she's in really bad shape now. She's going to need an ace and only an ace. She got her money in with the best of it, but she is far behind now.
I don't want to sweat. Just end it, king or a queen.
Yeah, he's nearly a 9-1 favourite now, David Williams.
Ace of hearts.
Ace of clubs. That's real, Dave. If I said that, I'm real sick. It's just a king or a queen.
Jennifer is calling for the ace of hearts. She wouldn't want to see the ace of clubs at this stage because that would give David a club draw.
Oh, and speaking of the devil, look at that. It is a jack of clubs, and that really puts Jennifer Tilly behind the 8-ball. She's going to need one ace of hearts or ace of diamonds. And there it is, the ace of diamonds. Unbelievable. Down to 2 outs, and she gets one of them.
Talk about the thin end of the wedge. She got incredibly lucky there. A 5% chance of winning. David gives her a sporting hug. I bet he wants to throttle her.
Here we are at the Dublin All-Star Challenge. Walsh under the gun. Takes a peek at his cards. See if he likes them.
Well, he's got some very green Irish chips in front of him.
And look at this. He's going to raise. He doesn't have many chips, and he's going to push them all in, it looks like. Yes, he does. He goes all in with just King 7 offsuit. Now remember, he's first to act. The rest of the table has to act after him. Very risky move.
Well, I am the walrus. But do you have the nerve to call for 24,000?
I don't know.
It's one of those hands, ace-7. You don't mind pushing, but you don't want to call off your chips with that.
Yeah, there's what they call the gap concept. Hands you can
Pass.
bet with are not the same as hands you can call
Pass.
with. Dave Colclough getting out of the way.
Pass.
Got counter this.
Yeah.
And the action is over to Bateson in the big blind. And look at that, he's got a couple of ducks, a couple of red ones. And he's pretty deep.
20,000.
You don't like to call off your chips with the pocket deuces, but I think he's got enough chips to gamble with.
Yes, he does have a big stack in front of him. Normally he would be putting these in the trash in the face of a big hefty all-in raise, but it's come from a short stack player. It's legitimate to think that this is a coin toss. He may even be slightly ahead. As we can see, he is marginally in front.
Right, and normally you don't want to call with pocket deuces because you're either a small favorite or a big underdog.
Yeah, and you know you're going to see overcards on the flop. So it's basically walking through a minefield with a blindfold on. You've got to hope that the other guy, he's got 2 overcards pretty obviously. You've got to hope that he misses them.
And obviously he's thinking, do I want to risk these chips?
Well, if you've got a whole load of chips and he does have a deep stack in front of him, this is a legitimate call.
Yeah, I think it's definitely correct to call here. I think you have enough chips to gamble with. And, you know, in a tournament, you've got to gamble a little bit. And he is going to gamble. He's going to call there. And we see pretty much a coin toss. Bateson a small favorite over Walsh.
Ace-7. Oh my God.
Adrian has King 7 offsuit.
And
Now it's very much in the hands of the poker gods.
exactly, the players have done their jobs.
Yeah, Walsh already standing up. He knows if he loses this one, he's taking a walk, and that hasn't helped his King 7 at all.
No, Bateson's still in good shape here with a couple of deuces. And the 3 there, still no help.
So it has to be a king or a 7.
Oh, and there it is. The king of clubs saves Walsh, and he is still going to be playing in this tournament. Bateson can't be happy. He wins $53,500, and Walsh takes a seat. You're still playing, young man.
Both men made the correct decisions. Short stacked, Walsh made a move with King 7, and it was perfectly legitimate for the big stack Bateson to call him with those little deuces.
Blinds are 6,000, 12,000. Button is in front of Eric Seidel.
Very much one of the pros at this Pro-Am table.
And he doesn't like the looks of 10-3. But Andy Block's going to play with his Jack-6 suited. Don taps the table, and we're going to see a flop.
Well, Don had Ace-8 offsuit. He should have raised with that one. Well, he will now. He's hit top pair. Block checks into him. Don Cheadle bets, pretty much a billboard saying I've got an ace, but Andy figures he can outplay him on the turn and calls with middle pair.
Yeah, the turn brings the 5 of hearts, and this is when Don's really got to push him out. But look at that, he only bets 15,000. The pot is 69,000, and he only bets 15,000. That's going to give Andy the odds to stay in there and see if he can spike 2 pair or trips. And look at that. Just like I said, he spikes 2 pair. He hits the 6 of diamonds on the river, giving him 2 pair. They're going to check it down, and Andy Block is going to win the pot.
Should have bet out.
And sure enough, Don says it. He should have bet out, and he should have bet more.
I don't deserve any applause for that. No applause for that hand, please.
Six-handed here. Blinds are 1,500, 3,000.
Never know. But you handed it over there.
Nice look at Eric Lindgren, professional poker player.
I think they were clapping for
He's going to look at 6-4 offsuit. He doesn't like it. Throws it away. Cheryl Hines doesn't want to play. There's Kid Poker. No thanks. And over to Phil Ivey on the button. And he is going to play. He's just going to call there. He loves to see flops. He thinks he can outplay his opponents. And it's going to be heads up between Phil Ivey and John Juanda. Pot is 7,500.
They picked a tough opponent to outplay, John Juanda, and John has hit bottom pair. They both check very quickly.
Turn brings another 7. And at this point, Juanda's probably got to think he has the best of it. And looks like he is going to bet.
Has to be a sizable bet because there is a flush draw out there.
And he bets 4,500. Probably not enough. Although Ivey's only got the 2 of diamonds. Does he think it's good? Wow, he's going to call. You wonder if maybe he thinks his ace is good as well. And look at that. The river is the diamond, and Ivey's got the flush. It's not one to brag about, but hey, it is a flush.
No, he checks and he's smiling. He figures he's ahead, but there's no way he can really bet because if he gets re-raised, he has to throw it away.
Interesting.
Called hoping for a diamond.
Well, a little joke there from Phil Ivey saying he was hoping for the diamond. Nice to see him smile at the table. All too familiar to see him drag in the chips.
Phil Ivey, one of the great young poker minds in today's world. Oh, and there's Alan Cunningham, 2005 World Series Poker Player of the Year, and then he backed that up with a great 2006.
Yeah, finished 4th in the main event for a very nice payday.
Such a pretty hand.
There is our
Somewhere
amateur.
else. Another time, another
He
position.
gets out of the way, and Phil Lack won't like his 8-5. Huckseed abandoned ship, and it is an ace-10 offsuit for Phil Ivey, just limping on the button there with a strong hand.
Yeah, Phil Ivey likes to play a lot of hands, and he often likes to limp in with them, kind of conceals the strength of his hand. And you see Andy Block tap the table. We're going to see a flop 3 ways. 3 of the great young poker minds in today's game. Ace, Jack, 4. And looks like Ivey's got the best hand here. He's an overwhelming favorite. Now, Block has picked up a small piece of it. He's got second pair. And Ivey's going to bet 7,000 on the button. And Block is going to call this. Pot is now 23,000. Let's see the turn. And the turn is a queen, and Ivey's picked up a straight draw as well. Block's in real bad shape. Let's see how much Ivey bets.
Ivey a 9-1 favourite.
And he bets 18,000.
It's just less than half the pot. He obviously wants to milk the cow rather than slaughter it for beef.
Oh, and Block calls again here. Maybe putting Ivey on a flush draw. Block is going to need a jack or an 8, and there it is. The 8 of diamonds comes off, and Block sucks out on Ivey.
He checks. He really wants Ivey to bet here. Ivey reaching for chips, but is he going to put them in the middle?
And he's going to bet it, and I like this bet. I really do. Some people think it's a little bit of an aggressive bet, but I like it. Maybe hoping to get called by a weaker ace.
Well, hope
It's
that
true.
wasn't the
Also,
card
he
that
may conceivably have put Andy on the flush draw. Calling is something that sometimes happens when people on draws, and he wasn't raising, but you can see now that
Wow.
that river has drowned Phil Ivey.
I was so afraid you had hearts. I was like, no, that's not like Andy. He wouldn't be calling that down for me.
Hey, Block, you're sick. I was gonna fold the river if I didn't deserve it. But
Yeah, I know you were.
And we are 5-handed here. Blinds are 4,000, 8,000. Action is over to Brecker. He's got a queen 9 offsuit. And, you know, in the cutoff seat, 5-handed, I think he thinks it's good enough to play, and he is. He is going to raise it up here. And a quick call from Roland DeWolf. Roland DeWolf in there with 9-7 suited. Kind of hand you can break people with. He likes that kind of hand.
Roland, a very, very aggressive player.
And wow, that's an interesting flop there. Queen 10-8 rainbow. Brecker with top pair and a gut shot. Roland DeWolf is open-ended here. He also has backdoor spades. But remember, if the jack hits, both players have the same hand. And the action is on Brecker. How is he going to proceed?
Well, he's a 2-1 favourite at the moment, and he does the right thing, putting money in there. 25,000 chips.
Now, oftentimes you like the open-ended straight draws, but you've got to realize that the jack is kind of gives it away. It's a one-liner to a straight. And look at this.
It's
Looks like you got a
raise. Yeah, 105,000. Brecker stoops to see how many chips there are.
And if I'm Brecker, I don't think I can go anywhere here. I've got top pair plus a gut shot. Even if I'm out-kicked here, even if, let's say, Dwarf had ace-queen, I've still got a lot of outs. I don't think I can go anywhere.
And Roland is known as a very aggressive player, so the all-in and the call instantaneous.
Yeah, and DeWolf really had to call there. He had pot committed himself with that big raise. And we're going to see a turn and a river, and let's see what happens.
Brecker will be feeling pretty good about himself right now.
Yeah, DeWolf can only win it with running spades or a 6. Well, there's a king of spades. Wow. A lot of outs here for DeWolf.
I know, it's so
Never any blanks.
sick.
Always more
It's
outs.
so sick.
To the river.
Brecker trying to look as calm as possible, but he is praying for anything but a shovel-shaped card.
And the river is the jack of spades. I can't believe it. Both players make the straight, but DeWolf makes the backdoor flush, and he is going to take down a huge pot. Wow.
That is a sickener. That is a real kick in the guts, and look at Brecker's face.
Oh, man. Well, it's one of those things when your opponent has an open-ended straight draw, you figure you're about a 2-to-1 favorite, but in that case,
For a
he
jack
only
or
had
a
the
spade, and you
6.
just hit both, you know?
And in backdoor spades.
is-
Oh, wow.
You shouldn't. At least in this game, you have like a degree of control. If you play against me in games of pure luck, you have no shot.
Button in front of Cloney Gowan.
Yes, Jennifer Tilly, the lovely Jennifer Tilly always, is in the big blind.
Had that hand a
And
lot.
this is going to be a battle of the blinds here. We've got, wow, David Williams there with pocket jacks in the small blind forehand. That's a monster. He's going to raise it to 13,000. And Jennifer Tilly quickly going to call with a suited jack, jack 9 of spades.
Well, that's a nice hand, four-handed, and she may think that David was bullying up.
Oh, wow, what a monster flop for both players here.
I call.
And, of course, Jennifer Tilly's going to call here. She's got a spade draw. She's got a pair of 9s and a gut shot. Straight draw. She's only about, you can see she's a 3% dog here.
David Williams didn't want to hang around. Once he saw that king, he thought, I'll find out right now where I am.
Yeah, Phil Locke, interested observer watching on. There's the 4 of clubs. Tilly is going to need a 9 or a spade to win it, or a queen will chop it up. To the river. And it's a queen of clubs, and they're going to chop it up here. You know, after the flop, they're about even money, so I guess chopping it up is only fair.
Yeah, you can't criticise either player there. David was aggressive after the flop. He didn't really like the look of that king, and the immediate call would have scared him. He must have thought that Jennifer did have the king. But instead of the cowboy, she had the flush draw, and that was enough for her to call his immediate all-in with the hooks.
Yeah, you can't blame her from that call. Obviously, pre-flop, David Williams a huge favorite. I mean, you got pocket jacks against the jack 9 of spades. But after the flop, I'm sure Williams is quite happy to chop that one up. We're here at the Dublin All-Star Challenge, where 4 players remain in the tournament.
And with only 4 players, hands which you would normally put in the trash become more and more playable. Thomas Walrus, however, doesn't consider his tickets to be sweet, and we are over to Dave El Blondie Colclough,
20,000.
who makes it 20,000 to go.
David made it 20,000.
And immediately Bateson pushes all his chips over the line.
Well, you can't blame him when you look at ace-jack offsuit four-handed. You get that button raise. You just pointed out you don't need very premium hands to push when you're only playing four-handed.
Plus,
Walsh is quickly going to get out of the way with jack 7.
And there may be too much value in this for Dave to fold his king 10 off-suited.
Yeah, I imagine he's getting, the odds are too good for him to fold. And he's going to be happy when he sees that he has live cards. As long as you don't see ace-king, ace-10, you're pretty happy.
And Tony's got ace-jack.
Yeah, this is 60-40. Dave will have been in tougher spots than this. And whatever happens, he's still going to have a pretty impressive mountain of chips. The flop comes down 6-5-9. Well, there's no help to anybody. So the ace-jack still in front. Stretches his lead.
Well, there's an 8 of spades there. That is going to give Dave some more outs here. He can catch a 7 to catch a straight. And there it is. Look at that, the 7 of hearts.
How cruel is that?
Oh.
Bateson can barely believe it. The moustache wilted You can't wait to shake hands and get out of there.
Yeah, you'd almost rather just... Huckseed there with the ace-5 of diamonds on the button. Definitely a playing hand. Even more so on the button, and he is going to raise it up to 45,000. Action over to young phenom Jeff Madsen. He's eyeing him down, but he is not going to play. And there we have world champion Jamie Gold. He's got the king-jack offsuit. Contemplating, thinking what to do.
I'm all in.
And he is all in. Wow. He is going to put the heat right back on Huckseed.
What do you say? I had 100 and...
Probably 130 more.
Suddenly that ace-5 suited doesn't look so pretty.
Now, once again, we always pointed out, it's a nice hand to push with, but you don't really want to call your chips off with it. But if he makes the call here, he would be correct, and he'd be about a 3-2 favorite.
He has to worry about the bigger ace, because then he would be a hefty dog.
All right, obviously, Jamie Gold could also have a middle pocket pair, something like 8s or 9s. But he is going to call, and he's in good shape here.
Wow. I was about to push with ace-8. I ace-8.
Madsen saying that he has folded an ace.
If I call you.
Yeah, it's like we
That's
got
one of
almost the
Seed's
same
ads, should he require them.
It's the right move.
It's gone down the Swanee.
This is the biggest part of the satellite right here, huh?
And there's the flop, Queen 5-3, and Huckseed's got a little piece of it. Nothing there for Jamie Gold. He's going to need a king or a jack or some sort of running cards.
For no reason, I mean.
And he is down to 25% chance, or he is out of the tournament.
Watch it be a 10.
And look, it is. There it is, the 10. The 10 of hearts.
It's the up and down straight draw for Jamie Gold.
A lot of cards for him. He can catch an ace, a king, a jack, or a 9 here. Still only 30% chance of hitting it, though. And there it is. Oh, unreal.
Well, some people at the World Series in 2006 were speculating that he must have sold his soul to the devil. He hit so many cards. Watching that, you've got to believe this guy has got luck on his side. And poor Huckseed, the recipient of a rather tough beat.
Always on the river.
Oh, the lovely Shannon Elizabeth. She made her name in the movie American Pie.
Yes, I remember the scene very, very well, and I am personally grateful that it wasn't Andy Block I had to see stepping out of his underwear.
Likewise. Well, Andy Block likes what he sees here. He has ace-jack suited, and he's going to raise it up to 11,000. And Shannon Elizabeth likes her ace-10 as well. She's in bad shape, but she's going to call. Action over to Gavin Smith, who also has an ace. He's seen enough. He's pushing all of his chips in.
No messing there from Gavin, an aggressive player, fairly short stacked. He thought, this is my moment. And the pressure is now going to be heaped upon the other players at the table. Gabe Kaplan giving some running commentary, asking how much it is.
Andy Block, if he only knew, he is in great shape here. He has a bigger ace than both of them. His ace is also suited.
Right.
And the MIT graduate is figuring out the odds. This is really a math
the crowd
question here.
stands up in anticipation.
God, I would love to do that.
Part of the famous blackjack card counting team. You've got to reckon that he has a head for figures.
That's for sure.
Not sure he has a head for that hat.
Once again, agreed.
There we go.
He is going to call.
I'll let you do it.
Puts his chips in the pot. Shannon Elizabeth wisely steps aside.
She's going to be very happy with that decision. She's going to see the ace-jack, and that ace-10 will feel like a world-class laydown to her.
Exactly. Andy Block, a overwhelming favorite here, 70-22.
I should have done it.
Obviously doesn't add up to 100 because they could chop it up. Pot is 127,000.
I know, right?
Gavin could be drinking that water at the Last Chance Saloon. Not sure whether they serve mineral water at the Last Chance Saloon, but if they do, he's drinking it.
Well, there's the flop, Queen 6-6. Now Gavin needs a 9 to win it, or a queen to chop it up.
Yeah, that would give them 2 pairs with an ace kicker each.
And the turn brings a 10. Still no help here. Gavin Smith is down to his last card. He's going to need a 9 to win the pot, or a queen to chop it up.
A 10 would also chop it.
That's my 10 that I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Shannon pointing out that she would have made the 10s. Oh, she would have He trips, but they've split the pot.
Yes, wow.
Look how fast Gavin Smith's hand
Man,
went
he
in to get
would've
his
busted
chips.
both
He was so relieved to get anything out of that when he saw what a huge dog he was.
Yeah, Gav.
Yeah, and Shannon Elizabeth obviously bemoaning, why didn't I call? Why didn't I call?
That
was
is
good for the
poker.
show.
I should have made it.
Or maybe not, they might cut it out.
And once again, we are here at the Dublin All-Star Challenge. Full table there.
Was that good, was it?
8 runners. That obviously means that they're going to have slightly better starting hands to get involved.
And of course. And Vera Duffy, very, very short stack. She's going to have to pick up a hand relatively quickly.
Yes, players have arrived at this table with different chip stacks. All people are not born equal at the poker table.
Pass.
Action over to
Adrian Walsh, who looks down and reaches for chips.
and he is going to put in a little raise there. He makes it 6,500 to go.
500.
And he's got 2 10s. Good reason to raise it up there. Action's over to Vera Duffy.
She is short stacked.
And she is contemplating what to do. And she is going to move all in there. You know what? With ace, queen of hearts, can you really blame her?
I'd have done it even faster than that, I think.
Exactly. And she moves all in now. It's another 6,500 on top. It's only 12,400 total.
It's an automatic call with the 10s.
Yeah, it really is.
Calls.
And we're pretty much going to see a race here. It's going to be about 50-50. Normally the 10s would be a favorite. But in this case, we've seen a couple of 10s folded.
Vera shows ace, queen of hearts.
Vera Duffy becomes the small favorite.
Yeah, if she hits an overcard, there's really very little Adrian Walsh can do about it. Here comes our flop.
Oh,
I said if she hits an overcard, she's hit 2.
Yeah, and Walsh is almost drawing dead here. It says 14%, but it's not even that good because there are no 10s left in the deck. And there's the jack. Oh, wow, he's got a little hope now. Walsh can catch a king and only a king to win this.
They're both smiling because they've both seen it. Oh!
I can't believe it.
Oh, running straight cards.
Oh, that's unreal.
That is truly appalling.
Oh,
No way to treat a lady. My God.
obviously, she doesn't know what a bad beat it was because she doesn't know the other 10s were dead, but we do. Oh, wow. That really is unreal. We are in Las Vegas at the Wynn Championship. Cloney Gowan there on the button. She's got king, queen of diamonds, and she's going to limp in. Kind of a curious move.
Well, that invites Christy Gazes to make it up from the small blind, and Ted Forrest checks. We'll see a flop.
3-handed to the flop. And you can see that. Wow, look at that. All hearts, queen, jack, 8, and Christy Gazes has flopped a flush, and like a pro, she bets right into her opponents right away. She's only got a 6-high flush. She doesn't want to give up any free cards. And Cloney Gowan does not have a heart in her hand, but she's going to call here. She's got top pair.
Top pair with a decent kicker, and she obviously doesn't believe Christy Gazes.
Jack of spades on the turn doesn't really change much. Christy's still way ahead. You can see her 90% to win this hand. Cloney Gowan is going to need either a jack, a queen to win this pot.
Yeah, that's it. She'll have to make a full house, one of the best hands you can make in Texas Hold'em, to get away from this. She is in big, big trouble. Essentially, she's got 4 outs.
Christy has not taken her foot off the pedal. She has continued to bet, putting the heat on Cloney. And Cloney calls again. Wow, does not believe the flush.
River card.
To the river. Oh, wow. And it's a queen. And that basically just makes Christy's hand worthless, completely worthless. You know, you've got to assume that Cloney's got at least a queen in her hand. And at this point, she's definitely got a full house. There's a double paired board out there.
Yeah, Christy did the right thing. She bet when she was in front. The only thing now is, can she fold when she's behind?
Well, you can see the frustration in her. She knows she's been beat on the river. And, you know, she played it like a real champion. She bet her hand, and because she bet her hand, her opponent did not put her on the flush. She got 2 calls from Cloney while she was ahead. You know, nothing she can do about that.
She made her opponent make bad decisions. She just got unlucky, but she's got away relatively unscathed.
Blind, please.
Yeah, what? Yeah, you better near on that.
And there's the ever talkative Phil Locke.
Must be hot or something.
Phil Ivey takes a peek at his cards. 4-3 offsuit. Doesn't like what he sees.
Poorly, so my brain is
Alan Cunningham. Ooh, he's got a pair of sixes there.
Cool off.
And he's got to decide what the best move is here. He's reaching for chips. Oh, and he's making a big raise here. He raises it up to 99,000. Action over to Andy Block, who is by far the chip leader. Oh, wow, and he is going to re-raise it another 126,000 chips.
But I did raise.
I never get it in these spots, but I might get it. Still raise.
Phil Lack is getting excited. Well, he won't be too excited by a jack deuce.
No, nothing to get excited about there.
Luck is out of the way, and it's just Cunningham, and he's made the call. He's all in.
Hi-ya! He doesn't care. He's a chip leader. He's a machine. This is your chance to.
We're going to see pretty much a race here. You can see that Cunningham is a slight favorite over Andy Block. And we have a 270,000 chip pot.
6 of spades.
Oh, and there's the 10.
Look at this. I thought was straight draw.
Immediately, Cunningham goes into the cellar. He's going to need to catch a 6 or running cards.
And there's a 7. Well,
there's a little bit of hope there.
Yeah, he needs a 6 or an 8.
The Ocho.
6 or an 8.
The Ocho would be painful.
6 cards to help him out. 14% chance of winning. He's trying to look as relaxed as possible, but his heart will be thumping and he'll be thinking, why did I do that with the 6? Oh, and that is why.
Oh, and that is just sick. That is absolutely sick. You heard Phil Locke calling for the Ocho, and there it is. Ocho. Giving Alan Cunningham the bottom end of the straight, and he suddenly doubles up, and you know, he.
When you guys go on, then I'm gonna put.
And we are down to 4 players here.
I know.
Huckseed looks at a couple of 7s. He doesn't have many chips, and really the only move you can make, he pushes it all in.
Oh, Dr. Seed. Now,
No,
this is how we do it. I haven't looked yet. Now I'm gonna look.
Well, that is the king crab.
I love this guy. It's always that's what I'm talking. Kid.
King and a 3, the seafood hand they call it.
Sick thing is
It's amazing. Phil Locke is actually considering making this call with King 3.
So sick.
I mean, I moved in with 3 entire people behind me. It's got to be a big hand, right?
Small, big, move in, right? Yeah.
All them, it was like either you got me or you don't.
That's a Philism if I ever heard it. I do. I either have the best hand or the worst hand, and I'm either going to win or lose if I call.
That's some deep insight there from Phil Locke.
I have 4-10 if I fold. Is that really possible? Can I have 4-10 if I fold? I can have 4-10 if I fold. There's 1.3 million in play.
Well, you'd think I'd almost rather call with 5-3
Wow,
than King 3 because it's so easy for my king to be dominated.
Which I'm crushing.
And
You're going to have a lot of
he's a gambler, though.
Yeah.
So I call.
All this
I'm all
chatting,
in.
he said he calls.
Oh,
Wow! What the? I mean, you've got to applaud Phil Lack for asking the questions, for trying to get information out of Huckseed with that crazy man act and all the conversation. But that's a terrible read and a terrible call.
Well, you can applaud him, but it's not the right read here. He's only got really 3 outs. He needs a king because the 3 doesn't help him.
I know it's.
And you can see that he's a big underdog. Well, he's picked up a gut shot. He can catch a deuce.
Yeah, that's a horrible flop for Huckseed, who's done everything right so far. He's put his money in when he was way in front. He's been called by Phil Lack with one of the raggiest hands you're going to see, a king 3.
Yeah. Well, no help there. 8 of hearts on the turn, and Phil needs a king or a deuce, or he is going to double up Huckseed. And here it is.
Surely not. Surely.
What a big hand. I play bad. Just give me like a queen and give him the chips, you know?
To the river. Oh, wow! And the river's a 2, and Phil Locke falls down in excitement. I can't believe it.
Well, he is not the only one having to pick himself off the floor because I can't believe he called it, and I can't believe he rivered it.
I'm out.
You know, you and I both wondering why he called an all-in with King 3 offsuit. Maybe he knew he was going to make the straight.
Yeah, he's speaking to higher powers than you and me.
Welcome back to the Invitational from Monaco. We have 5 players left. There's Phil Ivey, always sharply dressed.
Ivey's all in.
And he's making an effort with his pocket sevens, those walking sticks, all in.
Well, I like the move. One of those hands you do not want to be calling your chips off with, but you can move all in with it. Now, Juwandas puts the test here. He's got ace-8 of diamonds. That's one of those kind of gap hands. Do you really want to call your chips?
I don't know how much I got either.
176.
Yes.
Ivy all in for 176.
I got him covered.
And John Juanda
He gets rotating
has
for me
him
too.
covered, but does he have the mustard to call with ace-8?
Yeah.
He's going to figure he's up against either a pair or a big ace.
176.
So at the very best, he's probably 50-50. I don't think he can make this call.
Well, he doesn't want to double up the dangerous Phil Ivey.
Yeah, there are players at this table who will play fast and loose, but John
Wonderful.
Juanda tends to be a more tight aggressive player. Well, talking about loose aggressive, it doesn't come any looser and any more aggressive than the Great Dane himself, Gus Hansen.
Yeah, but even he couldn't call with 10-6 of clubs, can he?
Well, I've seen him call and bet with worse.
Well, he's thinking about it.
Well, that all-in, very early position. He may think Ivy is sitting there with
Come up
pocket
on 3-0.
threes, pocket twos, something he is in with a chance of winning. But you're right. He's short-stacked. He's going to find a better spot, surely.
You'd think so. I mean, he's only got 10 high. I mean, if he calls off his chips here, he can't possibly be ahead. Now, you see that he doesn't have many in there. Maybe he thinks he's pot committed and he wants to gamble a little bit.
Yeah, he's had to pay a blind, so he may think, I'm going to put good money after bad. What he is trying to calculate, I have no idea.
Well, look at that. He goes, what
Gus
the heck? I'm
Hansen's
putting
all
the
in.
chips in.
There's an empty seat on the front row, though.
It's all in for 56.
And the Devilfish, who also has an ace.
Yeah, I don't think he can overcall, though. And he is not going to. He's going to throw it away. And
2 sevens for
Ivy
Phil
way ahead here.
Shows the sevens.
10-6 of clubs for Gus. And
I mean, Ivy's
Gus is
sevens
about 3-1
block
in
Hansen
favor,
straight. And Hansen's only got one overcard. He's in really bad shape.
Yeah, this is thin stuff.
Hansen's got a hook
Flop
for
is a
clubs.
7.
And look at that. Ivy hits a
10.
set right away. It's pretty much done with.
Well,
And a
there is a
queen.
10,
One
but
club.
as you say,
One
Ivy
club.
now a massive favourite. Over 9-1 in charge.
Turn card is another club.
Oh, no. Hansen
Ace of
gets
clubs.
backdoor clubs here. This
One
would be
card left.
disastrous.
It's a deuce of clubs.
Oh, my.
Gus
He
Hansen
calls
has
it. There it is. The deuce of clubs.
doubled up.
Unbelievable. Ivy way ahead pre-flop. He's a monster favorite on the flop. And Hansen catching running clubs. And look at Ivy. He is just stunned. He cannot believe it. Gus Hansen tries to give him chips.
Poker is such an ugly game sometimes. You do everything right and you still get sucked out of. Well, at least it's amused Helmuth and Mattisau watching from the aisles, giggling away at Hansen's good fortune.
He's doing Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, Battlestar.
5 players left here.
He's still doing a lot.
He's doing plenty.
Johnny Chan in the
he's the one
small
that did,
blind there. And Sean shaking.
Shawshank, right?
No.
Oh, that was on somebody else. I'm not a movie buff, so.
No, you're on the right track.
Action
You're
on
thinking about
Arias
American.
there
10.
with the ace
Okay.
10 offsuit. And he's going to raise it up to 10,000.
And that bet should be enough to get rid of his fellow thespian. Mr. Gonzalez, yes, the amateur
Raise again?
folds his
Yeah.
hand.
Get a lot of hands over there.
I thank you.
Shake not interested, nor is the Orient Express, but the mouth, who is actually dominated, calls.
Hello, sir.
Trying not to battle you, brother.
Good luck.
We're going to see this flop two-handed. And the flop comes out ace, deuce, 9. And look at that. Mattisau has 2 pair and is in command of the hand. Arias could be in trouble here. He's got top pair.
Yeah, he's digging his own grave with that bet.
Yeah, Mattisau checked it. He looks like he's going to check raise him. And sure enough, he does. He check raises the minimum.
I'm all in.
Oh my God! He's overplayed that ace-10 horribly, and he can see now that he really
Still in
is
the 10, yeah.
in the mud, and he's up to his chin.
10.
He's going to need to
Mike, you're so
catch a
lucky.
10.
It's a long ways from over.
Yeah, he's in really bad shape here.
Exact scenario online the other day.
Running deuces would get him out of trouble.
Hello.
Arias watching on, hoping, praying for a 10.
On TV.
Well, there's a queen on the turn.
No diamonds out there for anybody. It makes very little difference.
Now, Arias can catch a queen now as well.
Ain't saying anything if he ain't
Queen or a 10 to win this.
I'm feeling for you, boy. Come on now.
Getting winners for me?
Well, Mattisau very famously once said, "There is no justice in poker."
Oh, and there's the 10.
What did I say?
He was right. The mouth absolutely kicked in
him
the
out.
teeth.
2 pair, ace 10.
I think you jinxed him when you said there was no justice. Unbelievable.
He's on his way out, and he has to go past his arch enemy, Sean Shakan.
Mike!
That's all I got to say right now.
Mike, come cry on my shoulders, Mikey. Mikey!
He ain't gonna bother me. See, I lose every hand I play every day like that, so I'm just not
You're a bad
phased.
player. That's why you lose, Mike.
It doesn't even phase me.
You're right.
I expect to lose it.
But I'm
That's
coming
why
over
I
tonight to play
walked
some
off so
Chinese,
nicely.
bro. Don't trip.
You think I don't? You're just an idiot. Be quiet.
Five players left as they battle it out on the felt. Phil Ivey under the gun. He's not interested. Richard Brody. He spies ace 10 of spades. That's probably going to be good enough to play, and he's going to move all in. Button gets out of the way. Alan Cunningham gets the way. And Lane back-to-back flack. Oh, he's got two blackjacks. He's certainly going to call, and there it is. He moves all in as well.
Yeah.
And he is in command of the hand.
Yeah, off to the races, and Lane Flack has got a bit of a head start here on Richard Brody.
This is the day you've been waiting for your whole life, Richard. All you gotta do is beat Jack's full.
Lane saying, "I hope you can beat Jack's full." He's predicting a full house for himself. Well, there's confidence. I dare say if he makes a full house, he will walk away with the chips.
Oh!
I don't have to explain.
That ace must have been scary, but the jack was right behind it to put Lane Flack way back in front.
And Brody in really bad shape there. Look at that, only 6% chance of winning the pot. Oh, he's got a little better. He's got the ace on the turn. He is going to need another ace, a 10, or a deuce on the river to win this. 16% chance of winning the pot. Doesn't look good.
Ace, deuce, 10.
Well, he knows he's drawing thin.
Oh!
A duck on the river! Oh my God, and that is just devastating for Lane Flack.
Brody cannot contain his excitement. He jumps out of his seat. Lane Flack, the professional.
That was sick.
Nobody said it was gonna be easy, huh, kid?
Nobody said that.
Richard Brody has really landed a knockout blow.
Eric Lindgren in the small blind there. Andy Block in the big blind. Waiting for the dealer to dole out the cards. There's David Singer. He's under the gun. Takes a peek at his cards. He likes what he sees. Got pocket deuces there. A couple of red ones. And he is going to put some chips in the pot. Action over to Schulman. And he's quite a gambler. Queen, deuce of clubs. Why not?
He's raised it up to 25,000. But he has walked into the bullets.
Yeah, Eric Lindgren there. Can you pick a better time to have pocket aces there?
Someone's just
60.
raised into you, and he says 60,000. Let's see what you're made of. Tempting enough, he hopes to get a call.
And Andy Block. Oh my, he's got aces too. How many aces are in this deck?
There's about a 221 to 1 chance of picking up pocket aces. They've both done it. This is going to end up with fireworks. Like the blue touch paper, stand well back. He says all in. Well, that's done Schulman a favour because he might have got into trouble against Lindgren.
He's called, and Eric
They both call and they both laugh.
Jeez.
I've actually lost this twice.
It's almost bound to be a chop pot.
Time I've had
But
aces.
as we know,
Hard to believe.
in poker,
What were you gonna do?
strange things can happen, David.
Yes, for sure.
Now, the nightmare situation here, every poker player knows it, is if
If I call, you're
a
gonna.
flush comes out. And there are 2 spades. And Lindgren's got a
I'm
tiny
free-rolling.
breath
Hey.
of fresh air.
Yeah, Lindgren is free rolling here. Block cannot win the pot. Oh, and there's another spade, the deuce of spades. And you can see it.
One time.
Block is sweating it out.
You know, I really like
Block
Andy,
needs
but
to
this would be
dodge a spade, or he is going to be out.
Just right
Andy
now,
Block has
just
got a
one
little
card.
LED display
then you
that
can
says,
show
"Shut
why
up,
you
Mike."
want
Now, normally that would be because Mike was rattling away in his ear. Mike, at this time, is
This would
just
be
giggling and making whooping noises. He's praying for a spade just so he can laugh about it.
Pocket aces against pocket aces. If you lose that one, it's just not your day. Oh, and there it is.
Oh, he raises his hand up. What can I do? I go all in with the best hand in poker, and I get knocked off the horse. Well, unlucky, cowboy.
Yeah, not much you can do there, huh?
The best you can say is that Andy Block now has a pretty decent bad beat story to tell.
Bad enough when you lose with pocket aces to any hand, but when you lose with pocket aces to another pocket aces, that's when you got to hang them up.